The number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Patrick Cristiano, your host, the publisher of TheaterLife.com, a website for theater buffs in New York City covering Broadway and off-Broadway theater. And I'm coming to you from the LTV studio today, where I have a special guest, Susan McGraw Keber. She's one of our trustees. She's an old friend of mine from real estate 100 years ago. Not really, but it feels like it.
Nearly.
We know each other a long time. Susan, thank you so much for coming to join us at LTV today.
I am thrilled to be here, and yes, we are longtime friends and real estate brokers together, and we've gone in various different directions, but both of us are still licensed New York State associate brokers, so it's good to see you.
Same
and
here.
Barry and Franklin, who's on the
other side of the
other
cameras.
side directing. Yeah, I'm thrilled to be here, and thank you so much for asking me.
Yeah, and you know, you're a trustee, and a lot of us don't even know what trustees do, what their function is, and they've been around since, I'm just learning, 1686, is it?
1686,
1686.
Yes. Well, I'll give you a very brief history about we are the East Hampton trustees of the freeholders and commonalty of East Hampton Town, which in 1686, King James II from England gave the trustees, a body of people, the right to look over the lands, the waterways, the roads of East Hampton area, all the way from Montauk through Wainscott area. And of course there's Southampton trustees as well, and that's a separate government. But we are the original East Hampton town government. And although we don't make legislation and we don't pass laws, we are working to preserve, as I say, and protect our waterways.
And there are 9 of you, is that correct?
There are 9 of us currently, yes. Originally,
and has there always been?
No, not always. Originally there was a different number, but now we are 9 because we have several committees, and as times have changed and we no longer have any properties in Montauk, there are different types of committees that have been created in order to facilitate and preserve and protect those particular things. We still have roadways in East Hampton that are mostly dirt roads. I don't serve on that committee, but we have roadways. We have an aquaculture committee that I serve on. We have the beaches committee, I serve on that. We have education, so that we can visit schools and teach the children about who the trustees are, what our responsibilities are. Let's see, I brought a list here of the things. Northwest Creek, I serve on Northwest Creek Committee. That is an area that I happen to live in and utilize myself, so I thought it would be good to stay in touch.
What do you guys do especially?
Well, there's the harbor. As a trustee, we give you the permits for your boat, buoys. We give you your clamshell permits. We give you little netted red bags that, for $1 when you get your permit, and you come into us and you sign up, and we give you a permit to go clamming. We also have oyster.
Is there a limit to how many permits they give?
Not necessarily. Certain things, yes. We do have a limit for instance, if you have a paddleboard or you have a kayak and you want to put your kayak into one of our built racks, which we are responsible for the racks that we put up. You come and sign up for a permit, and there are a certain amount every year, so first come, first serve kind of thing.
Right.
And we also own the land at Lazy Point, and the residents recently had their leases upgraded from 1 year to 35 years, and that we hope will enable them to procure the
leases change from 1 year to 35
yes,
years? Whoa.
35 years. We own the land that the homes are on. They actually will own the home. But this way they have an opportunity with a bank, to get a loan if they want to improve their property, or there's something that they would like to do to fix something. The other thing is stability. These are local people. You have to be a resident of East Hampton. You vote in East Hampton. So it's really, taking care of our people. And I thought that was the right decision. And as some people had concern over the coastal erosion, and of course we all do, because we know from CARP, the program that the town has implemented, that we are going to have coastal erosion. erosion, we are seeing climate change. So there was some concern that people should not be given the 35-year lease. But I feel that we're all at risk. We all live on an island that we know is going to change over time. So I was very happy and excited to.
Was that a hard thing to accomplish? Because it sounds.
It took about a year for, you know,
that's pretty fast.
Town was invited. When anytime such a change occurs, the town is given the right to come in, address the trustees. And I will say that the trustees that I serve with now, they are now televised by LTV. Thank you very much, LTV. And so people have open access. There's tremendous transparency between the public and the trustees. And our job is to preserve and protect what we have. And the reason I ran originally, someone asked me, why would you do this and give up everything else that you've done? And I thought, it's to preserve and protect the beautiful community that I am fortunate to live in, that you're fortunate enough to live in, and to preserve and protect it for future generations to come. And I'm at that stage in my life where I have that opportunity, and I'm thrilled about it. I love doing what I'm doing. It's a passion.
Yeah,
yeah.
Exactly. And was that exactly what King James said in his thing back? Is that how he put it?
I'm not sure what exactly he said, and I can't. I could only paraphrase, but it was to take care of. For instance, originally, a group of the trustees were in charge of giving away pastures, for instance, to the cattle, people who had cattle, or to the farmers. So it was a responsibility, a steward. We are stewards of the lands. And so we're protecting, as is the town board. But again, we are single and separate from the town board. We work in collaboration. We have a very good relationship with them. But we have our own areas of purview that we take care of.
You have a different agenda a little bit.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But we're all about the waterways, estuaries, the preservation of those, rehabilitating. You will come to us if you needed to have bulkhead repair, and that's a big issue too, because bulkheading,
I know.
you lose your beach. But there are areas where bulkheading took place a long time ago, and you know, so we work with the zoning board, we work with the planning board, and the DEC. It's a Department of Natural Resources. So we all work together.
And you're wearing a button, are re-elected. Are you up for election again?
Yes, I am. It's a 2-year term, and it seems like it's gone like that.
I know. I thought you were just voted in.
Well,
trustees.
I was, and all 9 of us. We have a great Democratic slate. I just want to say, everyone who's running again is terrific, and I love them all. They're terrific people. They all have their committees, or else we work together on various different committees assigned to us. Frances Bach is our current clerk. And then we have Jim Grimes, who is endorsed by the Democrats and the Republicans. And then we have Bill Taylor, who is also a deputy clerk, Rick Drew, myself. We have John Aldred, who used to be the director of the East Hampton Shellfish Hatchery.
Oh, wow.
And now John
So is the whole
Harley-Dunnes.
slate up for election?
Well, a whole slate, but then we have some new people. We have Tim Garneau, who is interested in creating a junior trustee program, which I'm very excited about because I serve on Education Committee and I'd like to continue there if I'm reelected. We have Ben Dolinger of Montauk. He's a young fellow with a couple of children, so it's nice to have some new, fresh ideas coming in. And Mike Martinson of Montauk, who is a fisherman and oyster.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love to have people
and
that actually
he's
use
got
the
great
waterways,
videos
too.
of himself out there working hard. And you know, it's a hard life as a fisherman. So we have to preserve and make sure that our fishermen are protected with everything that we do and look out for our marine life. And I am a PADI certified rescue diver.
Yes, we were going to get into that
Okay.
because
I'm rushing along too fast, right?
a little, but it's okay.
Right,
you want to make sure you get all the points in. Yes,
Oh.
but it's cool. It's great. I'm astounded at all the stuff that come into the trustees to have to kind of take a look at, and the things that if you look at the big picture that you have to really think about in terms of climate warming.
Yes, and
I
I
mean,
think that's the whole town. And I think that what's terrific is that citizen scientists, as we are called, in another program, which I'm sure we'll get to, and I'll tell you about it. But
well, you know, before you go further, because you
yes.
brought, and they'll probably trigger some of the things that you want to talk about. You
sure.
brought a whole bunch of pictures, and we're about. Let's go through your pictures and see
Okay.
where they take us, and just go moment to moment for a second,
Okay.
and then see what happens.
Sure.
And then we'll pick up on all the other things you want to talk about that we maybe.
All right, but you're right. We do have a lot of things.
Yes. So here's some of your pictures.
This is at Cornell Cooperative Extension up Island, and this is instruction for those of us who are interested in participating in the annual horseshoe crab.
Which we don't have a picture of a horseshoe crab. Tell everybody what horseshoe crabs.
I did have a video in here,
tell
but
us
I
what
think
they're
it got
for.
lost. Because shellfish, horseshoe crabs they've gone through 5 extinction periods. So they are completely prehistoric and resilient, but they are used now for medical purposes and harvested for such, and also for bait. So in former years, we have had a lot of horseshoe crabs that would come on the beach. We're seeing fewer of them. So somebody came to the trustees while I was still a candidate and wanted to know if maybe it was due to trucks on the beach or whatnot. And then we went to this program, which was wonderful. And we actually go out during the new moon, the full moon, and when we know there's going to be high tide. And we watch the spawning horseshoe crabs. We tag them, we measure them, we send all the scientific data back to Cornell, and they will enter this. It's all science related, and they figure out where the horseshoe crabs are coming, where they migrate to. We try to, because we want to make sure that we preserve them.
It's mind-boggling to me. Absolutely mind-boggling.
It's pretty exciting because we go out late at night, and sometimes there are nights when you get home at 2 or 3 in the morning, and then you get up and go. But it's fascinating.
So let's get back to the picture.
Okay.
This is the same.
This is the same Cornell Cooperative Extension. There we are. That's John Aldred on the left, who is a trustee, and that's Tim Garneau in the center. And this year he had some high school kids and his own children participating, and myself.
Okay.
And here we are last fall. That's Rick Drew on the left. That's John Aldred. And then we have John Barley Dunn in the waders. And I'm always in the yellow waders. And we were about to set out with the middle school of East Hampton, and they were all on paddle boards, and we were seeding the harbor with oysters. And John Barley Dunn is the director now of the shellfish hatchery.
Wow. How often do you have to do that?
Well, that was in the fall, and I will say I'm a member of the Oyster Farm, and we have hundreds of people and families who come. You sign up, and you grow your own oysters. And the thing about oysters that's very appealing to me, because I am a trustee, is to clean the waters, because an oyster can clean up, filtrate up to 50 gallons of water a day. So if you're thinking about clean water and you want your fisheries to prosper,
you need your oysters.
Once we grow the oysters, I can take home half, and then I give the rest back to the town. I don't eat oysters. So anybody want oysters?
Let's keep going with the pictures.
All righty. Cleanup crew. There is my very wonderful friend Beatrice Rivas, and I think that is Christine Martin and
you're cleaning up the...
We are going along the highway cleaning up. And we do that, we get it as a group. I do it with Surfrider Foundation. It's good. Participate, make friends, new friends.
Let's go on. Keep going with the pictures.
Nice. Well,
this is your award. Oh.
Yes, this was during the holiday season.
You were honored. Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. I won Democrat of the Year, and I was very surprised. And thank you, Kate Rogers, and all the Democrats who voted for me. It was a wonderful evening. And
do they give that award every year?
They do. Yes. So very humbled by it, and thank you. I look at this as a collaborative team effort.
Everything is a collaboration.
Everything.
Life is a collaboration.
It's not just about the award that you are singled out for, but rather what am I doing to give back to my community, and how can we do it together? That's what I'm all about. So that picture that you saw was our clam contest. That's the biggest clam contest. And
what happens at a clam contest?
Well, this is terrific. Everybody comes with, if you make clam chowder, bring your clam chowder, register, and we, the judges, we would taste it and mark and decide which one, and the one who got the most votes would win, and they win a plaque with their name, and it's hanging in our office. And we also have prizes for kids. We have, they actually bring their clam, the biggest clam, and whoever, we measure them and see who has the biggest one.
Oh, so there's lots of prizes.
Lots of prizes, yes. So it's a fun day.
Now we're getting short on time, so I want to go a little fast.
This is for the balloons.
We have to get to your balloons.
This is balloons.
Okay,
okay. Eyewitness News got wind of our story. That's Colleen Henn of Surfrider.
Stop 1 second and tell them what's happened recently. Let's talk about this because we have this fabulous poster here for balloons. Most people don't know what balloons do when they're released in the environment.
Well, I'll start by saying that balloons, mylar, and latex are non-biodegradable. Mylar is made from plastic, petroleum, fossil fuel. We're a community that wants to get away from fossil fuel dependency. Latex in its natural form is biodegradable. Once it becomes this, it's not. So these are remnants of latex balloons I found in the village of East Hampton, and I decided to turn it into something that was fun, but also could reach out to the kids and they would understand right away. There is such a fish. The name is much more complicated, but balloon fish, all right? Puffs up. And so I made this and I bring it to schools with the education committee. I visit all the schools and I teach the kids and I show them a PowerPoint slide presentation. Balloons are ingested by our marine life. They get caught around birds' necks, and a lot of the whales that we have seen washed ashore, or dolphins, they are ingesting these and dying from them. So my mission has been to educate people about what balloons do. When you release them into the air, it's the single-use plastic or petroleum, fossil fuel. They have to come down.
And where do they come? All these dangerous things can happen when they come down.
Yeah.
And East Hampton Town has just recently, they've passed legislation banning Southampton.
Well, they banned the intentional release of balloon because right before that, you could release up to 25 balloons per day. Southampton, I took this to Southampton Town with my dear friend Ann Welker, who's the first female trustee in 400 years. And so we met with the town and they passed it. And then I took it to Suffolk County, single-use plastic, and the legislator there was Cara Hahn, and then she handed it over to Sarah Anker, and I spoke to the legislature with the help of our very own legislator, Bridget Fleming, who's up for re-election again. Bridget actually helped me move into that direction, and Councilwoman Sylvia Overby was a great supporter of this as well. And by the way, I should say that the town board voted unanimously, as did the town trustees, to ban the intentional release of balloons. So now Assemblyman Fred Thiel is taking it to Albany. He's already submitted the legislation.
They have to vote in Albany. Is that what they have to do next?
And they have to vote in Albany.
Have they put it on the ballot?
Well, it's going, they won't vote on this until next year, the state. But Steve Engelbright, who's our senator, he's also in support of this, and I think it will probably pass in the state, I'm hopeful. But in Suffolk County, September 4th, I believe 99.9% it will pass in Suffolk County. So I'm very proud of this effort, and it took a whole community of East End people doing hard work to get to this point where we can help our environment, which is what we're all trying to do. So,
well, congratulations, congratulations. That's one step at a time. One step at a time. One step, and you're there.
Well, I would say the wheels of justice move slowly. They're square. Sometimes they move forward, sometimes they move back. But ultimately...
I like that, they're square.
Yeah, ultimately, I'd like to see the ban of balloons, period. And there are so many wonderful ways to celebrate either a person's life or graduation or a wedding or that do not include balloons. So it's like smoking. When people said we can't have smoking in our restaurants, people lamented, but it worked out just fine. So
let's jump back.
Okay,
I'm only concerned, I'm looking back to the balloons in a minute. I just want to see if we can get through all your pictures. We have only about 8 minutes. You believe it goes really
Wow.
Yeah, so let's see what we can do in 8 minutes. And,
alrighty.
Now this is still the balloon thing.
This is, yes, Eyewitness News came to speak to us about the passage of the legislation in East Hampton Town.
Which was really cool.
Yep. And we had a Montauk School, great. I was asked to be a judge for the science fair, so the teachers got together, and the principal, Jack Perna, Joe Malave, who's the science, he put together the whole science program for this event, and the teacher.
Now, do the children know all about this ahead of time? So they're getting...
No. What happened was the wonderful teacher there, Sarah Newberry, she came up to me after the judging, and she said, would you like it if I could bring the kids to support this? And the town had not yet passed it. East Hampton Town had not passed this yet. So they came up with all this wonderful artwork, and they had a petition. The whole school signed it. Everybody, all the kids. And I presented it to the town board. And then we had the kids come back so that they could see their petition, they could see their artwork in town hall.
There's more.
Yes, see a little turtle and with the balloon, and it says, stop balloon pollution, save a life. So all of this is
they saw the whole
hall.
process, so they understood how they were something in the wheel that made it all happen.
Yes.
And when you put the pieces together so they could see how it happened.
Well, they feel empowered.
Yes,
you know, they come to see that government works for them. And with their voice, they were able to influence the town board. And it was a wonderful time. Sylvia Overby presented forms for the children that said that they had, contributed to this effort.
Aww.
And Councilman David Lees, he showed the video of how the vote took place and that the town board voted on this, and they saw their petition, me holding it, so that I wanted them to feel that yes, as your voice matters, everyone's voice matters. And I invite anybody in the public, we're open to the public, if you want to come and talk to us about an issue. The trustees meeting is open just like the town board meeting. We meet every second and last Monday of every month, and it's at 6:30 sharp. We open up, and tonight is our meeting. It's at Town Hall.
Okay.
It is televised by LTV, and we're open to hearing everyone. There's no time limit. You can come in and talk to us.
If someone wants to talk about something, you can come to the meeting.
That they're concerned about, yeah. And this way, I say, I encourage people to come because other people who are watching, and we have a nice following of people who, I'm surprised sometimes, they're watching. You may be saying something publicly that someone else is thinking. And so that's how things get changed when people speak up and you bring us your concerns. And I love hearing from people. I think that's very important that we listen to our constituents, we listen to our neighbors, and that's what we're here for. As far as I'm concerned, I'm here to be, even though I'm an elected official, I'm here as a servant to the town of East Hampton, to the people, and to do what is best for the community today and in the future. So I love what I'm doing.
Well, we're thrilled to have you, too. I think there might be some more pictures. These are more pictures that the children did. There's some...
Turtles, fish, all sorts of birds, do not pollute, because they had seen my slide presentation as well, and it's pretty harrowing. It's very upsetting to some of the kids, but once they see it, they go home and they say, Mom, Dad, no balloons. And a lot of the fishermen will tell you that they see balloons on the way out to go fishing. I hear it all the time. I've asked people to give me their Mylar balloons because I'm going to make another one in Mylar. So. What else do we have? Anything else that's there? Oh, yes, there's Ann Welker of Southampton, the first female trustee. We're at the science fair together. She was a judge as well. And these are John Barley Dunn's two sons away on vacation wearing our T-shirt that we have. Now, this T-shirt is in 100% cotton, but we have all sorts of different products.
Oh, come back to this, Julia. Let me hold it up. Go again.
Okay. It's Save a Fish, and it is Ban Balloon Pollution. We've made sweatshirts, T-shirts, onesies. Wait, and here's our logo on the back, okay, for the trustees. And it says on the back, protecting our marine wildlife. And you can get them at our office, which is at 267 Bluff Road on the corner of Atlantic. It's that red brick building.
Oh, I know right where it is.
The little red brick building right before you get to the beach.
Yeah.
And these are going to be, they were at the Fisherman's Fair this past weekend, and all the proceeds go to the Captain Rysam Scholarship Fund, which is a fund that we award every year, a college tuition fund, to help supplement the student. And what they do is the students will write an essay, answer questions, tell us who the trustees are, why we are important, what their career goal is, why they're interested in marine biology or the fisheries, or who they are as a person and what they want to do. And then we secretly vote. And this year,
how can someone that wants to apply for this, how would they?
Well, the schools disseminate the application.
And what age?
High school. It's high school student because it's geared specifically
for college, for the first
tuition.
year of college. How much do they get?
Well, we have been able to give $500 to a student. Now, some organizations can give more, but my hope is that we can continue to increase the amount of funds that we have in our scholarship fund, and then have enough principal in there that the interest is actually helping to give more than one, and maybe with time we can grow that number higher from 5. But last year we gave 2. And I was very excited because we had more applications than we had the year before. And I think it's just word of mouth, you know, speaking to the kids and, you know, having the children more aware, or the young people more aware. And there's a lot of youth activism in our community, and I'm very, very...
Oh, that's really exciting.
Yes, I'm very proud of the school systems here, right from the elementary schools all the way up to the high school. They have Environmental Awareness Club. They also were very helpful. I had 36 petitions from national and local businesses and organizations supporting the ban. So, yeah.
Did we get all the pictures? Are there more after that? Because we have about only 2 minutes.
This is the Montauk School, the kids that came out for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Thank you, Jim Grimes, for offering your truck. He is trustee, of course, from Montauk. And all the kids got a T-shirt to wear, our balloon T-shirt. And we had a wonderful time there. Instead of giving plastic, I bought and had dyed carnations through Whittendale's florist in East Hampton, and green carnations for St. Patty's Day. I gave them away as I walked, because they're compostable and they're not harming the earth.
Who's that?
This is Gordon Ryan, who was the master of ceremonies, and there I am handing out flowers.
Go ahead.
He won. Normally he has a big float. This year he didn't. So there I am. I think County Legislator Bridget Fleming took that picture from the stands, the judging stands, as the floats went by, and there were all the kids. Sarah Newberry got the kids together, teacher of Montauk, and that's it.
And we're back to the beginning.
Yeah. And that went fast. So
28 minutes goes really fast.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
I learned a lot today that I didn't know about how the trustees work and their responsibilities. They're much broader than I had any idea.
Much broader than I knew, but you know, I've learned so much about our community, and if you are interested, come and join us with an oyster farming. Next January, Barley will give a class. Come to a meeting, trustee meeting, and you're more than welcome. I'll take you with me.
And when's the vote, the state vote, going to be on?
The county vote will be September 4th. The state will vote probably next spring because they don't reopen session until January. But the legislation has already been drafted. Assemblyman Fred Thiel asked me if I wanted to add anything. I put in my 2 cents.
And when do they vote for the trustees?
The trustees already voted.
Oh,
we unanimously...
No, I mean for the new trustees.
Oh, that is in November, general election. We have town board members who are up for re-election. Peter Van Scoyoc is running again.
So everything is in November?
Everything's in November, yes. So if the public likes what I've done, I say, I would welcome your vote. And if not, I'm still going to be doing what I'm doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.